5 or 6 years ago before you got into the church and into a relationship. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what did Christmas look like for you?
Christmas for me looked like, I was telling Brian this, I absolutely hated Christmas. I walked through the motions of it because I loved my girls so much that I did everything I could for them, but I really just hated it because it was so commercialized to me, and I always felt like I had to get the biggest and the best gift, and just get them every possible thing they could have, and it was just such a letdown because we would just build up to this day, and like in 5 minutes it would be over, and it was just done, and there was nothing left. That was it for me.
You didn't spend much time in church. Where would you spend some of that time?
I didn't spend any time in the church. This is like the one church I've ever stepped into. But most of the time, since the girls were kind of older and stuff, definitely, myself and my husband, we definitely go to the bar. And so I was that person that was the Friday night, can't wait till it's Friday, can't wait till it's Saturday. It's gotta go anywhere Sunday. But, just go out there and get drunk. And unfortunately drive home too. I really regret a lot of those decisions. But yeah, you could find us, girls would stay home alone, or if they're younger, they're with a babysitter. But we'd be out there just drunk and doing our thing.
Tell me a little bit about it and tell these folks this morning. So now here you are and you're in the church, and I just know you would say, preacher, God, and I'm going to use the word transform my life. He changed me from the inside out. Tell us kind of what that looked like when you began to hear and just what happened and how you came to know him.
I was, in my eyes, like a really huge sinner, and yes, it is a huge transformation. I was a person who drank all the time. I was a person who used to look into everything else just to, because I've always felt this emptiness, even from, I could say my birth, just being adopted. I just always had this emptiness. I always felt that hole. And even when I had the most that I thought, my husband, my kids, a home, doing good in the military, I still felt, why, there's more, there's gotta be more, and I know there's more. But, hey, let's just go drink. I cussed like a sailor. I was just a terrible person. I was very crude and rude with my mouth. I didn't have any, I didn't care about other human life. And I did not believe in God. I did not believe in Jesus. I had a friend who sowed that seed back in Tennessee, and she would debate with me all the time about God. And she wouldn't debate with me. I would just denounce God and just say all these bad things about him, like, why this, why that, you're foolish, you're stupid, ridiculous. And I'm like, and everybody wanted to be like, so you're atheist. No, I'm not atheist. I don't want to label. He can do his thing. I've got my plan, okay? And so she would just lovingly just talk to me and just go through that. And when it first started happening, I first started hearing him is when I was, all of a sudden, it's the funnest thing to even think about this, but I was like, okay, we have two girls. Why do I need more kids? And then all of a sudden, just like that, the thought came to me, oh, we need to have a child. Like, where did that come from? And so we tried to have a child, and about 3 miscarriages, and I can go through that story later, but an abortion due to the doctor's pressure. I finally broke, and I'm very thankful to God for this because he knew what it would take to break me. He knew, and that's what it took. And I wanted a child so bad I could not think of anything else. I was just going nuts, and it really took a toll on my marriage and my children. And so we moved here to Oklahoma, and that's when I got pregnant. And then when Donnie came here, we had expectations, sorry, I forgot to say this. At that point, when
Tell us a little bit, what got you to church?
Susan and Mason. When I finally got pregnant with Mason.
Susan Whitaker.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our folks will remember them.
It is absolutely true about what someone says about a walk. Because I had somebody at work who was a Christian, and she still is. She is. I don't know, but she always invited me to church, and I was like, no, because she cussed like me. She did everything else like me. So what's different about her? But then I met Susan, and I just looked at her and I'm like, can I go with you? And she's like, yeah. So I came, and I was very confused about it. Matthew's favorite story about me is that he cracked up in church because we were talking about something. I'm like, what does a lamb have to do with Jesus? And so when I walked out, though, I said, don't ever invite me again. That was the weirdest thing. Why do people sing? I just did not get it. And but what happened is I went to her house, and they were going through something. They were going through something really hard. And I just sit there and talk to them, and her brother John was there. And Susan was talking about how God was using her and Matthew, and how they were walking through this with Jesus. And she would talk, and if she stopped, Matthew picked right up. And just like she was still talking, and then he stopped, and John would pick right up. And it wasn't the family thing. It wasn't a husband and wife who know each other thing. It was God, and I knew it at that time. And that, I think, was the turning. And I kept wanting to dedicate Mason, because I knew God gave me Mason. I knew. And so when I came in here, I kept asking her, I just want to dedicate him. I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to give him to God. That's him. And so she's like, you got to ask Brian. I'm like, I'm scared, Brian. I don't want to go to the park, Brian. She's like, you got to be Brian. I'm like, so I went and talked to you, and Lou was there. And I had no clue what I was doing. And I had no clue about Jesus. That moment, she started crying, I started crying, and you're like, do you want to give your life to Jesus? And I'm like, I do. Okay. And so you did that prayer. I had no clue why you were doing it, but I just knew in that second, everything in me was going to give my life to this person, to this Savior. And I just knew it without a doubt. Every doubt was washed away. And when you talk about transformation, the first thing was he stopped my cussing. Thank you. That was the first word part. But the biggest thing is I could say is I feel loved. I feel him inside me. And there's always times that I've felt alone, and you feel it with everything else. But if I stopped and I just closed my eyes, I feel him. I feel him, and I feel his love, and I have no doubt that he loves every person, because of every crazy, horrible thing I've done in 34 years, he still wanted me. And so that makes me feel like I know he loves me because he still wanted me.
Well, thank you so much for just sharing that with us. And you've been 4 years, 5 years? 3.5. 3.5, spending Christmas with us, and I know what a blessing it is. I appreciate you sharing with these people, giving them a little different perspective than just hearing from me. And just, I want to say to the world, this testimony, all of us have some kind of story, and we were alone, we were separated, we were in darkness, and we had that moment. It looks a little different for everybody, but it's that moment of hearing God's voice, knowing that you are a sinner, and knowing that you need him in your life. Thanks so much for sharing with us today.